Hello and welcome to Channel Sport on Sunday. I am Ken Ochonogo. It is June 12th, and it is Democracy Day. Democracy for sports. So we are going to look at it. We are going to check how democratic is Nigerian sports, is world sports. A lot of talking points are there. We remember. Just I think up to last year, it was still on when the big teams in Europe said that they want to form their own league. I remember how UEFA, everybody was on them, telling them, guys, you can't do this, you are greedy, you are that. But then right now, again, there is the LIV Golf, have been backed by the Saudi Arabians, and people are saying, oh, you are going there for money. The PGA says, if you play in that league, then you are not going to do that. And I don't think so, because some of them who already played there might also play in the Open. So let us see how it is. Mikkelsen was roasted, because of that. But the law, when you win that tournament and you go home with $4 million. You ask yourself, where the PGA? I mean, they have the big ones, just like in the tennis, you have the big slams. You have the Augusta, you have the US Open, you have the British Open, and those ones are bigger than some other golf tournaments. So why? I mean, there is room for everybody. I don't understand this. If you are with us or we kill you, they're the same thing. Football and FIFA. If you're not in FIFA, you cannot have another football association. I think the monopoly in sports, it's everywhere. How democratic is sports actually? We're asking ourselves that question. How democratic is sports? I mean, you go out of, I love the American, because you look at the wrestling, you will see the WWE, you will see the AEW, you will see a lot of things that they are all world champions. So I believe that. In boxing too, the same thing. You have the WBA, the WBC, IBF now came to join them. WBA, so if you have WBA, WBO is also there. They are world champions, for goodness. So let us see how it is going to work. Of course, history, it is difficult for people to leave what they've been doing before. They are low. Probably will come up with the big four in tennis. Now somebody to bring another one instead of winning $2 million in the tournament, you are winning $10 million. So it's something we just have to look at. But I know it is something that will come. It might be difficult for now. Look at, we're having a Winter World Cup. Whoever thought of that years back? I mean, practically impossible. But we are going to have a World Cup in November, December. It has never happened. 7 days to Christmas, you play your final. So we are going to look at that. Now the Super Eagles of Nigeria, after those two friendlies that they lost to Mexico and Ecuador, came back to beat Sierra Leone right there in Abuja. But then it is not the result that is the issue now. I mean, people talk about the condition of the pitch. So we shall also talk on that and see how it is to maintain a standard pitch, especially for the Super Eagles, the home of this, of our national team, the most lucrative thing that you can think of. In the NBA, it is two games apiece, between Boston Celtics and one of the biggest teams in the NBA history, and taking on Warriors. Warriors with Steph Curry tells you when they come on there, you can't get them out. But right now, it is balanced. It is Celtic Warrior, both of them won in their away on the road and also at home. So game five will be I think on Tuesday or so, that when they're going to have game 5. So we'll know where, because that is Americans for you. That is the World Series. If you beat that, you are the basketball champion of the world. But that doesn't matter. They don't have that basketball in Australia, basketball in Europe, a lot of basketball in Africa, FIBA Africa. But then when you win the NBA, you are the world champion. You have won the World Series. So we are going to look at how that one is is panning out. Andy Murray is back. I mean, I think since 2016 or 2017, the man has not won a tournament, but right there he is beating Nick Kyrgios. I never. It was every match he was going to play was going to send him out before he get to the final, but he did get to the final, and he will play the finals today. And if he picks that against Matthew Berrettini, definitely, I tell you this, that will be almost like a revival and a good preparation for Wimbledon that is due, in a few weeks' time. So we are going to look at also in the Formula One, Ferrari. But then you pick you pick pole, but whatever happens when somebody else go and to win the race. So basically that is how it has been for Leclerc. The guys there, and Verstappen is the man that is turning things around. But let us see if he will move from pole to victory. But for Hamilton, the man is starting 7th. It has not been the year he envisaged. It has not been the season. He says no. He's narrowly lost in the last few seconds of last season. He lost being the ultimate best racer of all time, Formula Racer of all time, because he would have just eclipsed that 7 championship that Michael Schumacher has. Both of them have that. He would have won that. I mean, in the circumstances which he lost it, people also said, it is even maybe coming back. A lot of us thought he wouldn't even race again because it was quite demoralizing. It was something that brought him down. But he is, he's struggling. Probably if their car is up to, to what the Red Bulls and Ferraris are having. But let us what is going to happen. Probably for the second half, it might give him that hope to see maybe next season. If I cannot make it this season, I will be the next season. But this is not just about me because I'm in the studio here, right here, with my guy, my colleague, my friend. Yes.
Thanks, Ken, for having me. And to put it in proper perspective, Happy Democracy Day Commemoration Day, not celebration.
Okay. Why would we not celebrate?
No, the journey has been so far so, not so far so good. Okay. But we can always get better. But at least we are better than the era of military dictatorship. I think we have to take that to the banks. Okay. Because ordinary writing an article that let's play Brazil in a friendly match fetch me a visit from the security guys in my home. So when we pass to that stage, I think we have to celebrate what we have. But so far,
I'm hearing that story for the first time.
No, okay, I've not told you.
You've not told me.
There was this article, I think, in National Sport Link, and I heard the security guys came to my place that what nonsense.
So why did you write we should play Brazil?
No, then the government was against playing Brazil. We pulled out from South Africa.
Yes.
So we wanted to play a friendly. Said maybe they were afraid that we were going to lose and to stain our.
No, it was after it. It was after we won the Olympics.
Yes.
The Brazilians said they want to play us. And then when I said no, that the minister, I think it was Jim. What was the minister?
Yeah, it was Jim. My picture and Jim's pictures were in that article, and
I remember that. They said no. If Brazil beat us, then we've come a long way.
We've come from an era where there was a thin line between reasoning and treason.
Between reasoning and treason.
So I think
right now it is Democracy Day. So we'll look at this impact and how it is. But then let us start from the Nigeria 2 Sierra Leone 1. How did you see that game?
I saw the pitch. I saw the pitch.
Okay.
And thankfully, our match tomorrow will be in Morocco.
Yeah, we are playing Sao Tome in Morocco.
One of the presidential candidates said something during the course of your acceptance speech that Nigeria is going to be like Morocco. So right now, Morocco is the standard for Nigeria. Us. So, and thankfully, we are playing Morocco tomorrow. So I think we should expect the best of facility. Now, having said that, again, for the third time, we considered for the first time. We consider first.
Early, we always consider early.
Yes, so under the new management, and we came back, though we have to also blame the quality of that pitch, because none of those players having played the Europa final.
Aribo and Calvin Bassey will come here.
Play the League Cup final, with the best of pitches. We expect that from a national team. So that is a minus. Then when you look at the personnel themselves, I was asking, is it that we'll be having national team players play more minutes for the Super Eagles than their teams? Because when I saw a table coming, I was saying, are we back to the old landmark? So far so good. After 2 defeats, it was good to get a win anyhow, which we got. So because victory can only spur you on. So I think with the better pitch we'll have in Morocco, the Eagles should be scoring like 4 goals.
The pitch we have in Morocco, they'll be scoring 4 goals. Our other group members, apart from Sierra Leone, are Guinea-Bissau and Sao Tome and Principe. Guinea-Bissau defeated Sao Tome by 5-1. Right now, are we going to be under any pressure to say, okay, let us outscore? Let us better that particular result which Guinea-Bissau has.
Ken, it's even saddening that we've come to this level where we'll be in a group with Sierra Leone, Sao Tome, Equatorial Guinea are trying to benchmark results. Because I'll take you back to the late to Ikazobo, who says qualification for the Nations Cup is just our bet, right?
But that year he said we didn't go.
Yeah, we did not go. And from then, we never missed the semi-final until 2006 when we lost in quarter-final under Betty Vokes.
Yes.
And this is our latest escape where we got this round of 16. So we moved from a period where we're praying to qualify for Nations Cup to getting to the semi-final of the Nations Cup.
Yeah, I mean, minimum.
And also the World Cup, we moved from trying to qualify for the World Cup to even see once we don't get past the first round stage, we target as a failure. So, but yes, that is the level we have. We have to rise above that level. But I don't see any of those. And good for the Super Eagles. The coach, the Peseri have said, his focus is winning the Nations Cup. Yeah. So I think that has says much about the confidence of the. And I'll take you back. When Arteta was signed by Wenger, he said his dream was to play in the Champions League. And I told someone, I think I said it here, then in Megala, I said, look, other teams are signing players who wants to win the Champions League, and you are signing the player who his dream is to play in the Champions League. That tells you how far you go. So if the coach has said the landmark that winning is the focus, I think the players would not be complacent.
They will aspire to that.
So they will be looking
to meet the expectations
beyond praying to qualify for the Nations Cup.
Okay, we're playing Sao Tome and Principe. Like I said, Nigeria, we can look at the result. Nigeria did beat Sierra Leone 2-1. We came from a goal down, and then Iwobi gave us that equalizer before Victor Osimhen scored the winner. But like Okpe just pointed out, it has always been a situation where we're always coming back. We concede early goals, since we have this, we say Pesero. But probably he will look at the tips, he will look at the players and say, look, how do we prepare so that we can prepare on time? But before we go to Doha, because something will be happening somewhere right there. Before we go to Doha, let us look at for Sao Tome and Principe. They have played. In their last 19 matches, I tell you this, in their last 19 matches, they have won 3 times. They have drawn 1, and they have lost 15. And if you look at those 3 matches that they won and the one that they draw, it is against just one team, one country, Mauritius. It's against Mauritius. Apart from Mauritius, they have lost the remaining 15 matches. So I'm playing them on a neutral ground in Morocco. I just said, look, Morocco is the standard. Morocco has been bidding to host, to host the World Cup, to host everything. Say, look, we are as good as America. We are good at whatever it is. So if Morocco is doing that, that is the pitch we are going to play. Not just our players, so our officials will also be there. I just wonder how we were told that over about $1 billion was spent at MKO Abiola Stadium to
$1 million.
$1 million was spent. That's about 600 million naira. And the pitch. Somebody said they were going to put that today. Okay, let's see, because sport is celebrating. It is the Sports Media Award. It is June 12th, and then who else? Yes, who else to join us than this? We live in there. Want to go somewhere. We want to go to Doha. Let us go and meet the master himself, Michel Obi. Hello, Michel.
Let me say happy Democracy Day. It's not easy to be when you are looking at June 12. I don't know how you took June 12 when actual June 12 came, when we had the Pillar of Sports in Africa claiming its mandate.
Yes.
It was a tough time for all of us, but now it's history, and we can only look back and ask ourselves, what does June 12 represent? For some of us, it was a missed opportunity, an opportunity to have a man wrapped with the sporting spirit, a man so passionate about the youthful experience of sports, leading this country, and somehow, somewhere, we don't seem to want to get it right since June 12.
We don't seem to get it right since June 12. Getting it right in so many areas. Okpe just said we have moved from getting disappointed when we pick the bronze medal at AFCON to say, look, are we going to qualify from a group with minnows? We are moved from a situation where we go to the World Cup and said, if we don't go beyond the second round, we say disappointed to not qualifying. And formerly we say we even press calculator to qualify. Now we are pressing calculator not to qualify. I don't know. We're just talking about the NBA final. Celtics playing Warriors. We are out of international basketball. How? I mean, so Mitchell, let's start from somewhere. You're not in the country right now. You're in Doha. You're somewhere called, you're in Doha, right? What is happening in Doha? Let us start with that before we come home.
Thank you, Ken. And let me just say that there was a time in this country when somebody said going to the Nations Cup was not our birthright. And he lost he was sent out of his saddle as president of the Nigerian Football Federation Association, as it was known. Yeah. That is to tell you how the Nations Cup was just part of us. We took it for granted. Now, as you said, we are beginning to look at a team that has learned how to concede and not learned how to even score more goals. And if you remember the Onibinde philosophy, if you can't score, don't concede. That is how Onibinde carried us to the final of the Nations Cup in 1984. Interestingly, we'll be going back to Cote d'Ivoire, the same place we picked our first ever silver medal in the Nations Cup, and it was an indigenous coach. So we may be going back to Cote d'Ivoire, Abidjan, where we played in the final, and this time perhaps we'll have somebody who says he wants to win the Nations Cup. That is another story. We are here in Doha, Ken, to celebrate the best of sports media and sports journalism. Indeed, the excellence of storytelling and the excellence of reporting that which brings the people joy, that which brings peace, and that which can even change the world, according to Nelson Mandela. It's June 12 in Doha, and the weather here is extremely, you're talking about over 45 degrees. That's why the World Cup is not holding this time in Qatar. It will have been a season of the World Cup between now and July, but then the World Cup has been moved to November, December. November 21st is the kickoff date of the World Cup. Post Qatar will be taking on a team we played against. But then let's talk about the day. The day is just moving so fast because we'll be going to the Qualifiers Stadium. For the first time since the AIPS Sports Media Awards was introduced, we'll be holding this one in a stadium. It reminds us of 1924 when AIPS itself was born. And that was the first time AIPS held its board meeting inside a boxing ring. It was a symbol of how journalists have to keep fighting consistently, not only to ensure a clean sport for those who want to muddy it, but also to ensure that the spirit of fair play and the communality and fraternity that sports bring to bear on nations and even its peaceful trust are all respected. So in Doha today, this evening, you can get to watch all of that. It will be live on YouTube. And I know in channels, you've been doing a great job. So it's an opportunity for you to see how sports journalists get into their own Oscars, the best Oscar you can think of, because this is not just going home with an award, it's also going home with a cash prize. And when I talk cash prize, I'm saying that if you are the best columnist in the world, your work gets the recognition it deserves. It also gives you a pocket change of $8,000. And everybody is a winner, and that's the joy of it.
$8,000. How many categories are there?
We have 8 categories, including the Young Reporters category. In the Young Reporters category, there are 3 dimensions. You have the video, you have the writing, the best writing, and of course you have the audio also for the best young reporter. And that's 3 categories. But the best young reporter doesn't take a cash prize. What they go home with is the opportunity to attend any international event of their choice. Maybe the World Cup, the Athletics World Cup, the basketball NBA final, whatever World Cup they choose to be. And of course, there is a certificate that gives them the pride of being the best young sports journalist in the globe at that category. And of course, if you can't win in the world, you can still remain a winner by winning in the continent. So they are the continental rankings. And in the 8th category, You have the best color writing for those who write with a bit of shine, a bit of style, a bit of fees.
Yeah.
And then there are those who write for, to give the kind of breaking stories and all of that. So there are two aspects in the writing. So if you miss one, you can get the other. Television, there is, of course, electronics, and then radio, audio, podcasts, there is. And then there is a special investigative prize, which is determined by the president of the International Sports Press Association, AIPS, Gianni Melo. And interestingly, in the last 3 editions, Africans have dominated the investigative section. And you have to ask why Africans are so strong in this area. Of course, this is where it doesn't really get to the jury. There are 5 levels of jury in the AIPS award. The first level, the second level, which consists of judges from over 120 countries. Then the third level, which includes the jury. And the jury is about meeting now to determine who really will come first. There are 3 nominees, and all 3 nominees will be on here in Qatar, Doha precisely, the capital of Qatar. They're all on ground. So it's tense, it's anxiety, but it's also a spectacle. The best of sports journalism and the world of sports journalism is watching. So we are here to celebrate. The last edition was virtual, and that took place in Italy. The other edition took place in Budapest, in Hungary, where we even had the Power of Sports, the one who came second in PDP's presidential election. Talking about the Power of Sports in Africa, Governor Nyesom Wike, he was here to launch his Real Madrid package as part of the dimensions he brings into sports on a global level. So the party is ready, and we'll soon be going to the Khalifa Stadium, which looks like an angelic setting. You can imagine a World Cup in which you can stay in your hotel and get to watch all the games. You go out and come back and still stay in your hotel. No need to travel out because the travel distance is very short. That's what Qatar brings to the World Cup. But for today, given the hot weather here, the Khalifa Stadium is air-conditioned, Ken.
We know we are going to. They've told us that all the stadia there will be air conditioned during even in November, December. But Mitchell, we want to go on a very short break. When we come back, we shall continue this conversation, and you let us understand how important sport journalism is in our own democracy. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we shall go back. We're in the house, but we shall go back to Doha to join Michelle on the show. Stay with us. We were at that point where you packed your things and left Portugal and came back to Nigeria without a pin.
Definitely.
All you had was, were there right there in Belgium.
Definitely.
You thought they could facilitate a deal for Benfica.
Definitely.
Okay. You came back to Nigeria.
Yeah.
That was the end of your professional career outside the country.
Yeah, it was the end, but technically, FIFA-wise, it wasn't the end.
Okay.
Because, I mean, I didn't have a case with FIFA. FIFA never suspended me.
Okay.
I have a legal case in Belgium that can be sorted out legally. That's why Abiola stepped in. May his soul to rest in peace. My brother, everywhere you go, so may his own soul rest in peace. He stepped in, not my FA, like Portuguese FA, standing by Ronaldo now, trying to fight. It was the only man that stepped in, gave a day worth $50,000 then. I can't forget. The check was
MKO Abiola.
The check was Ambro Bank. I can't forget that bank because I was in the sitting room when he signed that Dutch bank, when he signed that check. They went there, they came back, they said they need time to, to see what they can. And he was in the midst of 93 presidential. He has his own problem too. He said, okay, they should wait till the election is finished. So that was the last word I heard from MKO till today. May his soul rest in peace.
Yeah. That was the last word I heard from MKO Abiola. May his soul rest in peace. And he gave him $50,000. Mitch, you are there. You watch, Mitch, you have just watched that. Today is June 12th. That is, what I'm trying to imagine, and Mitch, I want you to do this with us, please. If MKO had been the president, what would have been the effect, the ripple effect on sports, the pillar of sport in Africa? This is just what testimonies. I spoke with Etim, and Etim says people like Anigala, Taju Desu, they were all sent on scholarship to the US by MKO Abiola. But sport in general, what would it have been, Mitch?
Interestingly, Ken, MKO was at the peak of his sporting involvement when I was in the sports ministry as special advisor to the inimitable Air Commodore Anthony Kasogo of blessed memory.
Exactly.
That was in 1990 was the year MKO Abiola brought Africa to Lagos. The likes of Roger Miller and co, they came to Lagos. He was just not only a pillar of sports. He was the inspiration, and indeed people talk about hope 1993. In sports, Abiola wasn't about hope. It was about reality. And intimacy, it's a quintessential, gave you a quintessential picture of the man who could write check even on the back of his card, and you take to the bank to get money.
To be honored.
What he did for sports journalists within his own Concord group and outside, and what he did even in as a proprietor, a club owner with MKO, with Abiola Babes, getting the whole family involved. Do you know that the chairman of Abiola Babes FC was not MKO himself? It was his wife, Cynthia.
Okay, Cynthia. Was it Cynthia? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
I recall joining the team in Tunisia for a Cup Winners' Cup game, and Cynthia was just holding me for translation. Oh, Michelle, don't go anywhere. You are the one who will do the business for us in translation. But beyond all of that, I believe that sports has a role to play politically, and we can only get that right if we look at the kind of candidates we have for now. The candidates we have for now, what they can offer, what the candidates can offer. I believe we can get that done from what the candidates can offer. The youth in Nigeria are itching to be part of the political culture in 2023. And if you if you go back down on memory lane and look at the likes of Zeke, who got involved with journalism and sports writing, they always have something to talk about, how politics is like a game. And that game can find full expression with sports. You talk about respecting your opponents, talk about even respecting the fans by giving them exactly what you want to get. So it's a dimension that is total.
Okay. We are looking about the role of sports. And then also, for some time, like you said, you talked about 1924, the AIPS holding their first meeting inside the ring, and then you understand it. But even now, the sport journalist himself, even in Nigeria, is an endangered species. They go to cover matches, they go to cover road, and then they are beaten up, they are harassed. Some of them are not, whenever they paid and stuff. It's like you are in certain areas, the prestige which other journalists have, the sport journalists, can say this is what we have. Sports journalism in Nigeria, where are we? Where should we be? And what do you think we should do to get to where, I don't want to call it a utopia, but where you think that, the ideal state, ought to be?
Let me say that sports journalism today has been confronted by the challenge of technology. And, we have a global village, but there is a need to build our ethical image. And that is very critical. If you don't respect the ethics of the business, you may not find the true professionals. And that is what is exactly missing. this is the time for the true professionals to show the way and show the light. And that light can even shine on those who attempt to use the social media to practice certain aspects of the business. And I think if they know that certain people can do it right, they can get to copy well. They say, if you want to copy, copy very well. And I think those who try to get to the audience directly without understanding the dynamics of the business of sports journalism they need a certain level of enlightenment, a certain level of education. But going beyond all of that, it's a good thing to have everyone understand that you can practice this business if you have the tools, but beyond having the tools, there are elements you need to respect. But in terms of solidarity, I think Nigerian sports journalists have communal spirit. They try to share, they try to join other forces to make a difference, but they are not well supported. During the COVID, I know that there was the FIFA palliative, although it came to certain sports journalists, but what did other sectors see? In other countries, you know that sports journalists or journalists generally were given attention in terms of support. And that helped them to go through those tough times. You know, during the period of COVID, it was difficult to even go out and report. It was difficult for one to get to understand how to even bring the stories together. But yet, in spite of all these challenges, journalists braved the odds, and they are still braving the odds today. They must be respected in terms of how they are remunerated. And all those who employ journalists must also think about their welfare, and it's very cardinal. And I think the more we have a journalism spectrum that is well supported, that is well directed and well coordinated all around, a better country we will have.
Okay, let us end this interview. Let me just ask you this briefly. Going forward, how do you see sports journalism changing Nigerian sports in general? How can you just talk about fair play before you start any event? They tell you this is this. You talk about also in the political space that if they can learn from sports, they will learn to accept defeats and be magnanimous in victory and stuff like that. So what crucial role do you think sport journalism can play, not just in Nigerian sports but in the Nigerian environment, Nigerian nation?
Primarily, sports journalists today in Nigeria should start setting the agenda. They should start defining what kind of even minister they need to have. For every political party aspiring for leadership, they must tell us exactly the quality of minds they want to put in the sports ministry, for instance. They will have to tell us how much they want to allocate to Nigerian sports in terms of the budget. What we have is chicken feed. It cannot help. And to think that even in the Sustainable Development Goals, as enunciated by the United Nations, sports was found to be a veritable enabler, a catalyst. In that strength, sports needs to be supported for it to perform its enabling role, for it to serve as the engine of reaching, of finding solutions. And I think that the leadership of different political parties need to think deeply on how they can use sports and mix sports with the engagement of Nigerian youth. It's an industry that is still in its sectoral stage. It has not gone beyond the sectoral stage. Let's carry it from a sector to an industry. And that means that we have to really sit down and look at the master plan. And there have been so many master plans for sports. The Vision 2010 Sports Master Plan told us so many good things. But how have we gotten to even implement a quarter of that document? While we are talking about education, education itself should have a place for sports. And that's the only way we can begin to see the strength of it in Nigeria. But for us as sports journalists, time has come for us to unite and find not only unity in purpose, but also unity in selling a vision to those who want to manage the country, to understand that without sports, they may just be dancing without the drum.
Thank you, Mitch. I know you are part of the jury there. You are one of those who are presenting the awards today. We'll try and follow it, and then when you come back, this conversation will surely continue. Thank you, Mitch.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Ken. I can only encourage Nigerians who have the opportunity by 7:30 Qatar time, that should be 8:30 Nigerian time, on the YouTube channel, they can get to watch the AIPS Sports Media Awards. And even on the AIPS Facebook channel, you can get to watch the event live. And those who can even stream the Arcas television here in Qatar, one of the big media chains, will be taking it live. So it's a moment for sports journalists to celebrate not only their endeavor, but also celebrate Nigeria Democracy Day. And what a coincidence. The best of looking for the best for the country, right, and the best in finding those who can make the country look good and better. And only sports does that for Nigeria. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mitch. Thank you, Mitch. That's that you had from him.
Yes, Ken. I just thought of this set theory thing. If you are an engineer, so you should know what I'm talking about. Talk about democracy, talk about journalism, talk about sport. MKO Abiola fits into all
that.
This was a man that became the bus driver for Abiola Babes in Zambia.
In Zambia, he said they almost lost their life. They were driving.
And that was when he advocated for the CAF. There was Cup of Champions Cup to become a league that we don't have the facility yet in Africa, that teams should be in a place, play the league, and let's determine the champion. So it was a man that was deeply involved. The wife, the chairman, the Lesim Biat, was practically bankrolling the Falcons when they started. She was even at the forefront of pay parity, which the Americans just got. Chairman Ajua was there some time ago and told us how the cash gift Simbia gave them, she used it to build a house in the village.
Yeah.
So we've talked about sport and the family. This was a family that actually placed Nigerian sport on a very high pedestal.
All right, I'm being told that you guys can join the conversation. The phone lines will be open. You'll be part of the show today. It is June 12th. It is Democracy Day. Democracy for sports in Nigeria. Nigerian, how democratic is sports, not just in Nigeria, but all over the world. And whatever, remember on this show, nobody carries your handicap. Everything sports is discussed. Whatever in your mind, you let us know, and then let us go. Let us move on. I was talking about before we joined Mitch, that Sao Tome and Principe, the team we are playing in Morocco for our next match, because also Sierra Leone will be hosting Guinea-Bissau. They've in their last 19 matches. I would say you can see that you see that in the last 19 matches they have won 3, drawn 1, and lost 15. The three matches they won was against one country. That country is Mauritius. The only match they drew was against one country. That country is Mauritius. So apart from Mauritius, the other 50 countries they have faced, they have lost. I don't know. The Guinea-Bissau just beat them 5-1. I'm not saying we should go and beat them 6-0, 7-0. But I'm saying they are not playing at home. We are playing on a neutral country in Morocco. So it is. I think here we don't have it.
Because of the facility.
Yeah.
We have a replica of Nigerian 30 during the Confederations Cup. I think we ran like 7-0, where Nnamdi Odumadu was just firing on all cylinders. So we'll get a very high-scoring cricket score on Monday. I think Nigeria should at least be happy with that.
Yes, on Monday, 13th of June, and on that same day, Nigeria that were playing, they were also, I think Morocco also will play. Morocco also will play on that scene on
Liberia.
They will play in Liberia. They will play like just Liberia, Morocco.
Liberia,
also on the 13th. So that will be that. Let us look at today. There was a match played at the NPFL today. It was supposed to be played yesterday. There are stories moving around because we have not confirmed that story. We don't want to take it. But there are issues. But that is the result. Enyimba beating
Kwara United
by 3 goals to nothing.
The coach is on national assignment, and since then the team have been getting the results. So I think that
so that you implying
that is funny. So Kwara United taking on Remo Stars. Gombe United, Dakada FC, Kano Pillars against Wiki Tourist, MFM in Katsina against Katsina United, Nasarawa United against Enugu Rangers, Rivers United taking on Abia Warriors, Shooting Stars and Plateau United, Sunshine Stars taking on Niger Tornadoes, Lobby Stars taking on Atland.
Okay, so that is the thing. And those
also, the 7-point margin is still there between Rivers United and Plateau United. But Ken, the 3rd and 4th position, Rangers, though playing a match less, 51 points, same with Enyimba United, Enyimba International. Remo Stars, they've dropped to 5th on 50 points. But funny enough, the team from 11th to 20th, nobody is guaranteed safety because the difference between them is just like 4 points.
Yes. So a win. Somebody said a win in Nigeria. If you win 2 matches, you might find yourself from being the last spot to being the top 10.
Yes.
I tell you, because so, that's about 12. If you add 12 to 33, you are going to get 45. You are going to get 45, and then MFM is on 33. If you add
so MFM and between MFM and Nasarawa United, we have 8 points.
8 points.
Now between Dakada with a match at hand, they have 36. Yeah. Between Dakada and Nasarawa in 19, Nasarawa in 11th, we have 5 points. So peradventure they win their standing match, that means the difference between 11th team and 18th team Atland will just be 4 points.
You see?
So
okay, anyway, I think that standing match is against Kano Pillars.
Yes.
So it is going to be a little bit tough because I think Kano have rediscovered their self, and you know they don't want to go on relegation, but now at least they're on 38 points, a little bit at least. But this is not 38 points is just a point above relegation. Yes. Because Atland on 37.
Kano Pillar is like the Newcastle of the Nigerian MPFL. They have the crowd, so nobody plays the goal.
But that they've not been playing at home, and then
yes.
even they because of whatever is happening to them, they are playing outside. And outside. Now that they are Abuja, I don't know where they will be playing now because that pitch also.
No, the genesis of that, I think it was a pitch management. You had like 2 teams playing on that pitch. You have also the Falconets. So when you need the Eagles were supposed to play, I think those teams should have moved their matches away from the Abuja National Stadium. Okay. We complain about underutilization. Now we had a situation where the pitch was overutilized and abused.
But growing up, we played on those grass pitches. You can play 30, 40 matches on those pitches. I'm sorry, but what is the difference? Is it the texture? Is it the whatever? I don't know. We play. In fact, then we've got the pitches we grow so much that whatever it is, the more you play, the more the grasses are. So what is the problem we're having? Where did they import these grasses from? And also the underlay. Look at how the grasses were just pulling off as if it was in a race course.
Ken, I think we also should be sincere to ourselves. I think it was 3 years ago we said it here when the contractor that handled the project said, I think for the maintenance they will be getting like they will be needing like 1.5 billion per annum for the maintenance. But when the budget came out, the maintenance for all the federal stadiums was in the region of 587 million. So when one pitch, they were asking for 1.5 billion to maintain, but for like 8 stadia we were saying they should use 547
but even this particular one, I mean, I think it was the Dangote yes. group that handled it. And they are just handing it over.
Yeah, we just played the first match.
In facilities management. Of course, you're talking about your conception, you're talking about actual, construction of the project, and then the maintenance of the project. So at least there is no way they won't have at least 2 to 3 years of maintenance from those who did the pitch. They don't just put the pitch and hand it over. Okay,
we didn't play the Ghanaians in Accra. We had to go to Kumasi because they said they just used that pitch for their independence celebration, so it was bumpy. So I still maintain we had a situation where the pitch was abused and misused.
Okay, abused and misused. But like I said, let's just go back to the old grasses that we're planting our pitches.
Yeah, we are moving beyond that.
It was not experts that planted those grasses, and those grasses they lasted as you can play 20 matches on those pitches,
and then we never qualify for the World Cup. Okay.
How do we never? In 94, we qualify for the World Cup. Which pitches did we use? Well, please just leave me alone. I don't want. There are certain things I say when you do it, you ask yourself why. Okay, so that is the thing. So, and today like we said, Rivers United are still 7 points clear in the league. So if Kano Pillar, because we are in that season now, if you watch the last matches, okay, Ifan is from what? Hello, Ifan, how are you?
Yeah, Ken, yes, sir. Yeah.
Dele.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Ken, let me commend your effort for your program. Commend you. The job well done. Also say thank you to Michel Obi, all the way from Doha. The man I respect so much. Today, June 12th, let me say Happy Democracy Day, although supposed to be May 29th.
Okay.
It is June 12th, which is normal. Let me say that MKO Abiola, the pillar of sports in Africa, tomorrow will continue to live on. Reason being that when you formed the Abiola Babes, the life of Chief Oluwa of the blessed memory, Toyin Ayala, Raymond King, Friday Pope, just name them. These guys are boarding stars. Abiola assembled them, ran the club in such a way that the other clubs in Nigeria, United, was also formed during that period. And they were going head to head with Abiola Babes at one time or the other. We were seeing quality football. Then they was in Nigerian man. But somewhere along the line, because of politics, the government of the day decided to sacrifice Abiola in the name of God's name. Amen. Well, Ken, for the Super Eagles, please permit me to say something. We are coming from 2 losses. We just recorded the first win. We have gone to Morocco now, and later in the evening, tomorrow around 4 o'clock, we shall be playing Soseme and Principe. Like you said, you played 19 matches. After the 19 matches, I think they drew 1-2 or something like that.
They won 3. I lost 15.
Oh, fine. And by implication, you are saying already that you are not a match in Nigeria. But let me tell you, yeah. We have the quality to have everything. But our problem here is the fact that many a time we sleep over our rights, over our quality by allowing some of these smaller nations, some of these banana republics, to come to us and make a mistake of us. It's most unfortunate, but I know the Eagles should wake up from their slumber and possibly kill the match even before the match starts. By beating the team by 4 goals to nothing. I bet possibly 6 goals to nothing. So that we can make a good statement and all that. Happy Sunday. Thank you so much.
Happy Sunday.
Mbana.
All right, my dear. Okay, we want to go on another short break. When we come back, Channel Sport on Sunday continues. Stay with us. Okay, talent. They said talent is not enough. I think that is something. So this guy is highly talented. But let's go to the NBA. Let's go to the NBA. Warriors Celtic. There is a Delca, the Nigerian, taking Celtics down there. And then for those of us, those are the results.
Game 1, Warriors 108, Celtic 120. Game 2. Warriors 107, Celtic 88. Game 3, Warriors 116, Celtic 100. Game 4, Celtic 97, Warriors 107.
And then game 5 is what they will be playing. So that is next in the early hours of on Tuesday.
So the Warriors, they never fail to make above 100.
Of course, exactly.
So and when the Celtic, when they want to win, they go on a rampage. So I think that has been. But for the Nigerian angle, they said what we don't have. What we export what we have.
We import what we have is what we import. And we export what we don't have.
So
let's meet
Christian.
Okay, Chris, how are you? Hello, Christian. Is he still there? Hello, Chris. Please do call back. You're calling from Lagos. Forget the network. Try again. I think this time you will go through. So he was just talking about it. I think in game 4, I watched that game. Steph Curry. There were some 2-3 pointers that he threw from his. They don't have. Okay, from his own half.
It was the factor in that 4th game because it was like a make or ma because they were 1-2 down. So if they had lost that game, it would have been 1-3 and just one more game, the title would have been taken. So he had to, like the leader he was, he came on board.
And actually, we want to go on a very short break, which we'll be right back. Stay with us. Okay, welcome back. We have Ayo. Ayo, how are you? I hope Ayo is there. We don't want to lose this call. Hello, Ayo. Okay, something's happening. I don't know what it is. It is democracy that you guys want to talk. Maybe the lines don't want to be democratic. They're trying to be autocratic, stopping you, from airing your views. But let's briefly talk about the 22nd African Senior Athletics Championship right there in Mauritius. We can see the medal as at, that was as at day 4, which is the last day of the championship. South Africa topped the medals table, followed by Kenya, then Nigeria and Algeria. But then, some of our best legs, because so they were competing at the NCAA right there in America. I think if not just athletics, I believe that if every of the federations come together, we have the population, and I think the population is the most important thing, and then the gene.
The gene.
Yes.
Yes, Ken, when you look at it, the South Africans, every parameter, gold, they win more than any other one.
Yes.
Silver, more than everybody. Bronze, more than every. So it's not a matter of, this or only gold. So it was like 25 medals all in all. 6 gold, 9 silver, 10 bronze medals. Kenya, second, 5 gold, 2 silver, 5 bronze. Then Nigeria and Algeria, maybe because of our names.
Okay, but I think Gabriel, I thought we have Gabriel on the line.
Yes, sir. I'm Gabriel, calling from Ikeja, sir.
All right, Gabriel. Okay, let's hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. Talking about the Nigeria match against. But I mean, the state of the pitch is something else. I think we used that pitch recently, and it's totally discouraging. I don't know how you guys, people that are in charge of the pitch. I mean, our facilities, it's not making sports really interesting to us. I mean.
Okay. Probably we'll get some groundsmen, and then probably if they come and do it well, I don't know. But then we need experts, those who specialize in pitch management. So probably they will hand it over to them, and we'll see what will happen. I think it's like it wasn't soaking. I think probably I don't know.
No, Ken, the way
was it too much water? The retainership, but the water being retained.
No, Ken, when after you finish maybe a match, what happens? You just left like that. And that's why you see when you watch the Premier League, they are getting the on-field interview, people already walking. So this one, you play your NPFL match, after that, nobody cares. You play another and nobody cares. Park corner, maybe when they are coming, you have a little of 1 or 2.
From what I noticed, I'm talking about the layers. Is that why the grasses were pulling? That is what I'm talking about. They were pulling here. It's not talking about whatever. If it is not level, if whatever it is, okay, the people are coming to Monday, but it is as if it was not well laid.
Now, when you see a patch, you fix that place. There is no pitch that don't have issue, but it get fixed. That is the problem here. You play a match, you spot an issue, and it's left that way. And as I said, it's because it has been overused without any work being done.
It rains.
Yes.
I did something. Okay. Let's go back. I think Ayo is okay. This is Ayo from Abuja. Hello, Ayo. Today's Ayo.
Yeah.
Ayo, how are you?
Ken.
Yeah.
I've been trying forever just to get through this number, man.
And today you are true.
I've been. Look, I just want to commend you.
Thank you.
All right. I'm not contributing on specific issues. I mean, you cover all the issues, so brilliantly, so deep, analytical, knowledgeable. I want to commend you. But
thank you.
Knowledge of the sport generally, I want to commend you for one thing. You bring joy. You make it lively. I mean, I almost wanted to carry a placard to challenge them to say, hey, increase this time frame from 30 minutes to 1 hour to 2 hours. Please keep it up, Ken. Please keep it up. Anytime I come to Lagos, I'm going to stop by to give you a for championship. It's very painful. But I hope the new manager will do better. You know, so I really commend you. Please keep it up.
Thank you
the
very
smile,
much.
the brightness on your face, the joyfulness you bring to the whole program is very encouraging. Please keep it up.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Ken. Please keep it up. You know,
all
keep
right,
it up.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, those are the guys that make it happen. You know, behind when we out of camera, you don't know what they do to me. So it's one very big family, and that is what we try to do here. Ferrari Formula One.
Yeah, during the intro, you said something that this was a season Hamilton never bargained for.
Yeah.
It was as if nothing actually goes right. Because I was watching the practice yesterday, it was as if
his car was bouncing.
What again is going on? So I think Hamilton would have been saying, oh, after the old drama of last season, I think they should have just said goodbye when the ovation was loud instead of what is happening to the team. They are not even competitive. That is the main challenge now. So it's a straight fight this season. It's too early to call, but from what has been happening between Ferrari and Red Bull this season, Ken.
It's Ferrari and Red Bull this season, but let's see if Leclerc this time, the guy will just go on pole and then Verstappen will overtake him. And he was leading the championship, and suddenly Verstappen is right there trying to defend the title that he got from Hamilton.
And now you had the five wins against 2.
Yeah, so that is what is going to happen. So right here today at that is Azerbaijan, Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Let's see whether it will be Charles Leclerc, because that young man when he came onto the scene,
it electrifies.
Fearlessly, the guy, you know, and then I love his accent. I love his French accent when he speaks, and that is the thing. And so for Verstappen is like, I want to win this. It's like it is all business.
It is my turn. Business. It is my turn attitude. That is it for.
But for Leclerc, how do I say it? Voix de vivre, the joy of living, which the French enjoy. You can see it, the way he handles his cars, the way he does everything. If he smashes his car, come outside, he said, okay, he just shrugs his shoulder.
That's his game.
And then that is the thing. And it doesn't really matter. But for Verstappen, without a championship, it is nothing. Hello, Dio. We're having Dio. Okay, Dio, how are you?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dio.
Is that Channel Sports?
Of course, yes. Channel Sports.
Ken.
Yeah.
Please, this issue of fish in Nigeria Stadium, what is the issue? What is it?
I don't know that well. Sorry.
Hello.
Go on.
You mean nobody to maintain our pitch again in the stadium? This stadium, this Abuja stadium that Dangote has just spent a lot of money on top. No matter what, so nobody to manage it again. If somebody invests, I think that man spent close to $1 million.
$1 million. Yes, that's what we're told.
$1 million.
Yes.
And the one of Lagos, Lagos Stadium. The one of Leone. Yes. I think Baba Jebu is taking care of that one. You know, I called you last time. I said I went there. I didn't see anything going on there. I didn't see any rehabilitation going there. But the one
you went into the main bowl.
Membo.
Is it all about main bowl?
They're working on the main bowl. Yeah, they're working on the main bowl.
Only the main bowl.
Probably, I think they start from there because the seats, the toilets, a lot of things have not been in order right in Sulere.
All right. That should be the case. What of this one? Look at this one. They just finished. Not quite 2 months. Everything has gone down to Doma. Hello?
Yeah.
Hello,
go on.
Please, you are very close to Minister of Sports. Please.
How?
You should tell him to hand over that fish to a private organization that will maintain that fish. Tell them they take that stadium. Nigeria is not a poor country.
All right, thank you very much, Dio. We are about going, we are about living.
Ken.
Yes. What? We are leaving Dio, please. Somebody, that when I said we should increase the time, probably we'll look at it. Next time, I said, look, let us see how we can do it. We have enough time so that no matter how much time we have, you guys will enjoy the show where we are going.
Yeah, Ken, in sport, we have gamesmanship and sportsmanship. today's Democracy Day, I will beseech the political class to take the sportsmanship in sport and not the gamesmanship. IBB will say, in victory, humility, in defeat, gallantly.
In defeat, gallantly. In victory, humility, magnanimity. Take the sportsmanship and leave the gamesmanship. On that note, we call it a day. I'm Ken Ochonogo dropping the pen. Have a very blessed Sunday.